Alright guys, here's part 3 of me talking about my favorite 90s comedies. And hopefully hopefully this should be hopefully there should be one more part after this. So I just want to get this done and over with because I plan on doing a movie update tomorrow too. Because I'm going to Salvation Army in Vintage Stock. Maybe Salvation Army, Vintage Stock for sure. Don't know about Salvation Army though. But continuing on with the rest of my favorite 90s comedies, and then this next one is another Adam Sandler comedy I'm going to talk about, and it's Happy Gilmore. This is another Adam Sandler movie I would consider in my top 5 favorite Adam Sandler movies, but it's about Adam Sandler's character, Happy Gilmore, who basically he's a hockey player. Basically, he's a hockey player, but when he finds out that the IRS repossessed his grandma's house, and he finds out that he's really, really good at golf, he decides to enter the PGA Tour to get the money back and in order for his grandma to get her house back. It's a really funny movie. Especially the scene where Happy Gilmore and Bob Barker fight one another. First they play golf with each other, and Bob Barker starts insulting Adam Sandler, and then after they're done, they get in a big fight, which is probably one of my favorite scenes in any Adam Sandler movie. And then the next two, everybody's familiar with, I'm sure, and it's the first two Home Alone movies. I would have put Home Alone 3 in this list, but I just thought that one was alright. But, I mean, Home Alone 3 wasn't as good as the first two, but I still found it to be a good movie. But Home Alone 1 and 2 are the best in the series. Like I said, Home Alone 3 was just alright. Home Alone 4 and 5, I don't even want to give any information about, because those two are just pieces of shit. Both they're TV movies. But I think out of all of them, I think I like Home Alone 2 a little better. A lot of people have said it's basically the same story, except it's set in New York. And technically they're right, but even Macaulay Culkin said that. But a lot of the traps were better. They were deadlier, but they were better. The booby traps that Kevin set in his uncle's abandoned house. And Tim Curry as the hotel manager is probably one of Tim Curry's best performances, if not his best. But yeah, these are two great movies that you should definitely see when it's during Christmas time if you haven't. And the next one is I'd say my all-time favorite Robin Williams movie, and it is Mrs. Doubtfire. It also stars Sally Field as Robin Williams' wife. It's about him and his wife getting divorced, and his wife doesn't want him to be around the kids very much because she doesn't believe he's very good at taking care of them. So he's only allowed to see him once a week on Saturdays. But then when Robin Williams finds out that Sally Field's placing an ad for a housekeeper, he dresses up like a woman as a housekeeper, Mrs. Doubtfire, so he can be with his kids more. And he has a busy job and a busy career. It's a really funny movie. And a lot of people say Big Mama's House was a ripoff to this movie, but I don't think it is. Big Mama's House was a funny movie too, but this is awesome. I'm sure everybody has that film on their all-time favorite Robin Williams movies. I really miss Robin Williams. I really do. And the next one I picked was the Nutty Professor remake with Eddie Murphy from 1996. And this was a funny remake. especially like the the scene at the dinner table where I especially like the Hercules scene at the dinner table. And I also like the part where everybody was farting at the whole entire family was farting at the dinner table. Oh man, that part's a riot. And the next one is another Pauly Shore comedy. I talked about Encino Man in the previous part, or part one, I should say, part one. But this is Son-in-Law, which is probably the best comedy he ever did. But I also have In the Army Now on DVD, but I haven't really seen that yet. But this I have seen before, and I really get a kick out of seeing this movie. It's about Carlo Gugino, who just graduated high school and is going to college. And then when Thanksgiving comes around, she returns home, and Pauly Shore asked if he wanted to go with her because he had nowhere to go for Thanksgiving, so he went with her. And when he gets there, they all believe that they were engaged and they were about to get married. It's a really funny movie. I got a kick out of watching this movie the first time I saw it. And the next one I picked is, and the critique is right about it, and the critique on the front cover is right about it, and it's Three Ninjas. Crosses Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Home Alone. Basically, they basically took the martial arts from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the booby traps from Home Alone, and they combined them with one another. It's about these three boys who were spending the summer at their grandfather's studying martial arts, and then when they return home, these three burglars who work with a criminal that the boy's father is trying to stop. They plan on kidnapping them, but they set up a bunch of booby traps, just like in Home Alone. It's really funny. This is another awesome movie. This is another really funny kids comedy. I remember seeing this on Disney XD, and it was funny then, and it's still funny today. I also like the part where they put laxatives in the Coke, and one of the burglars drinks it. Then he has to go to the bathroom afterwards. And the next one is one that stars two of the best comedians from Saturday Night Live, Chris Farley and David Spade. They did two together, but I'm only showing one, and it's Tommy Boy. They did this in Black Sheep, which Black Sheep I haven't even watched yet, but I do plan to at some point. But this is about Chris Farley's father who's getting remarried, and but before he ever does that, after he gets married, like after the wedding, he passes away, and he ran a auto parts business that was family owned, so Chris Farley had to take over the company, and the business was going to shut down, but unless he could sell enough of these brake pads, he could keep the business open. And this is another great movie. I watched this very recently, and I got a kick out of it. And the next one I picked was this is the very last movie in the Vacation series, and it is my least favorite, but I still like it. And it's Vegas Vacation, about the Griswolds going to Las Vegas, and they run into Cousin Eddie's family who's living there. And if you've seen all the National Lampoon Vacation movies are good, in my opinion. This one was my least favorite though, but I still enjoyed it. Still funny for what it was. The very first Vacation movie is the best, but this one was not too bad. And apparently, Wallace Shawn and Wayne Newton and Wallace Shawn are in this movie too. Wallace Shawn plays the blackjack dealer. And next is Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss in What About Bob? Which I'd have to say this is one of my favorite Bill Murray movies. But it's not my all-time favorite Bill Murray movie, but it's still in my favorites nevertheless. But it's about Richard Dreyfuss playing this therapist who's about to go on a vacation with his family for Thanksgiving. And Bill Murray has problems with everything, and Bill Murray follows him on the trip and tries to find out where he's staying, and when he gets there, he becomes a real pain in the ass to Richard Dreyfuss and his family. It's really this is another funny movie, especially I don't know what my favorite part in this movie is. There's a lot of funny parts in this movie, but can't tell you which one's my favorite. Okay, the next three are all of the Mighty Ducks movies. I'd have to say Part 2 is my favorite. Part 2 is where the Mighty Ducks are playing in the Junior Goodwill Games representing Team USA, and the third film is where they play high school hockey and they have a new coach, and Emilio Estevez is going to be working with the Junior Goodwill Games, and he wouldn't have time to coach the Ducks again. But yeah, these are all great movies. I'm going to tell you guys right now, this VHS, The Mighty Ducks, I'm going to be getting rid of because the tape is not in very good condition. The picture rolls quite a bit, so right after this video, I'm going to end up throwing this in the trash because it doesn't work very well. Just put that off to the side there so I'll remember to throw it away. And I also got rid of another VHS, Twin Sitters. I threw that away because the picture was rolling quite a bit on there. And I'm also getting rid of my VHS, The Jungle Book. Same thing. Same thing with that. The picture rolls throughout the entire movie. And the next one is another Disney comedy, which stars Sinbad. And I think this is one of Sinbad's best movies. And it's First Kid. And this is about... And this is the same kid who was in the first two Mighty Ducks movies, but this is about the president's son who is being followed around and being stalked by these Secret Service agents. But the kid doesn't like the way he lives his life in the White House, being followed by all those agents. And he's really frustrated because he doesn't like living in the White House. His life in the White House is not very stable, and all he wants is just to be a regular kid like everybody else. But this is another funny film, and he also goes to high school and has a crush on this girl. This is another funny Disney comedy. Even though I'm not really big on politics, it's still a really funny comedy. Stars one of my favorite comedians, Sinbad, who hasn't really been doing much in years, but hopefully he'll come back to doing a bit more. And that's going to be it for part 3. And the next part, the final part, the fourth and part 4 will be the final part. So I'll see you guys then.